Okay, so the relationship topic for this month is coming from Clara in Utah, and she says, I got to look at it again. Okay, so she says that she had been in a relationship with her boyfriend for 7 years, and they had gotten engaged 3 years ago. Her boyfriend passed away a year later after their engagement, and she was wondering that now, since it's been a couple of years, um, do I think it's time for her to move on and start dating someone else? Okay, so I don't know. I have to think about this. Are you ready? I think when oftentimes people misconstrue the grieving process or the process of grief and bereavement. So, there is no particular time allotted to the process of grief or, um, to the length that that process normally takes, because there is no normally takes in it. Every single individual grieves differently. They move through the stages of grief um, at their own pace. And they may bobble and weave between stages frequently. They may go back and then come forward, and because it's a continuum type of thing, and it doesn't, and it kind of works like a pendulum more so than a constant forward process. So essentially, you have to ask yourself, are you ready to move on and to see other people? And essentially, where are you, when it comes to grieving and putting sort of to rest that previous relationship, or should I say, those emotional attachments to that previous relationship dyad in itself. So here is the thing about grief and life, that process of life and that continuum of life. So, excuse me, we know that essentially everyone passes on into another life sector or another life form, or whatever your spiritual or religious belief um, platform allows you to conceptualize out of that. However, the exchange of spiritual energy and the connection between you and your intimate partner is something that never dies. That's something that stays with the person who is living through the moments of life every day. And essentially, people influence one another's lives in a positive way, in a negative way. Um, Either way, the influence is there and it's a permanent impact. So, whatever imprint has been left on your life by your previous relationship and by your previous fiance, you have to ask yourself, is that going to impede process in a new relationship where I'm trying to build and grow with another person, because it's now time for me to move on? Or if you come up with the fact that you're not ready, um, I suggest that you see someone, that can help you along the process and who can help you to make sense of the things that you still find that you are confused about, or, things that are still kind of like up in the air for you in regard to that previous relationship. Because essentially, I think that's what it's about in selecting to move on. Losing a spouse, intimate partner, um, because their life ended, is very similar to losing a intimate partner in general. However, it's more detrimental because it's a permanency associated with that loss, and a lot of times We don't necessarily think that all the way through before we jump into relationships. And I say jump because all relationships are sort of like a leap of faith, right? We're leaping into hoping that something great comes out of this thing. But so that's where I am on that. And if you need further clarification, you know where to find me. And I hope that you make the right decision and that things are, clearer for you now. So that's pretty much all that we've got for this entire month's broadcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as I said before, like and subscribe if this applies to you in a positive way. If you think it applies to someone else that you know, share it with them. And that's it.